So yeah, there's nobody sharing the information apart from me. I think obviously some people are now going to start sharing the information now that I've put it out there, but obviously I noticed that and I saw there was an opportunity to share the information. Of course, nobody starts out as an expert in any field. Now, when I first started seeing DPF jobs, I didn't know as much as I know now, and I was looking for some information, like why is this DPF getting blocked? People were coming to me saying, no, they've had it regened and multiple times and the fault keeps coming back. And I'd go in looking, well, why would this keep happening? And I tried searching for something on the internet and had a look around, tried looking, for information on each different car I was seeing. There was no information anywhere, absolutely nothing. So I was thinking to myself, well, I've seen all these customers with this problem. Nobody knows how to figure it out. And in the end, I just had to put the time and effort in myself. I bought a couple of used cars, played around with them, trying to figure out how these things worked and what's the cause of it keep happening. Of course, as time went on, I got a little bit better and better at finding out what's going on. A few of the things that I started to use, some of the tools, I'll tell you a funny story with the manometer. Probably 8 years ago or something, 10 years ago, I had a plumber come in and he was working on my boiler and he used a manometer, and I asked him, what's the name of that tool, where can I buy one? He was checking the pressure within the boiler, and I thought I could use that to check the pressure on a DPF, because I had a few cars where I couldn't find the DPF pressure even on live data, and I started using that tool. I think many people now I've seen across, honestly I don't know if that was just my idea and I've put that idea out over the internet and now everyone's using a manometer. I have no idea. Maybe other people were using a manometer before I started using one, but the manometer actually came from me watching a plumber test my boiler when he came around, and that's where I got the idea from, and I started using it from that. Now, yeah, like I said, I don't know if other people, maybe other people were using it years before I was, but from what I could see, I couldn't see nobody else ever using one. And of course now I see other people putting videos on and they're using a manometer. I don't know if that ideas came from me or not. Other than that, I think, yeah, obviously somebody had to share the information, and I thought, I was looking at all these customers come to me, and the same issue I was seeing consistently, saying, someone said they spent $5,000 trying to get the DPF repaired and replaced, and then they replaced glow plugs and the turbo, and they still couldn't get to the end of the problem. Yeah, so stuff like that I found very, like, I couldn't sleep until I got to the bottom of that problem. That would just annoy my brain. I think, what is the cause of this? There's got to be a simple reason behind it, and I just kept searching and going through all the different parts. And of course I tried multiple different, of course we all tried stuff in the beginning. I tried, I got a few cars where I was getting these issues, and I tried, we've all done it, let's try this part, and then, maybe by mistake, I think maybe once or twice I remember on a Mercedes, it was the first one, an ambient temperature sensor for the outside wasn't working. The guy said, look, I've had the DPF cleaned, I've had the DPF replaced, I've had the turbo done, the glow plugs, and the problem keeps coming back. And I said, the only thing I can see here is, like, apart from electrical faults with the interior lights and stuff, like, the only thing that I can see that may be related is the ambient temperature sensor is not working, it's blank on your dashboard. Let's change that and see what happens. Changed his ambient temperature sensor, cleaned the DPF. He messaged me back within a few days. The car's never driven this long without a DPF error in the last 3 years. And of course I got a great satisfaction out of that. The customer was absolutely ecstatic. He was so happy that I sorted out the problem. That was a white Mercedes, I think, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, something like that. That was the first time I came across the ambient temperature sensor issue. And then of course I found other issues along the road. The most one you see common is obviously glow plugs or an EGR fault. I think the most common one I see, and I'm still surprised people come to me saying they've had the DPF regen twice, they've had the DPF replaced at other garages, and then it comes to me and I see, as soon as I even take the car for a little quick test drive before I even scan it, you can hear a boost leak. And I think, how does nobody notice this? You know, a boost leak is the most common, and it's the most obvious fault for causing a DPF blockage. So yeah, of course I was looking for answers to these problems and I couldn't find the answers anywhere, so I had to basically put a lot of time and effort into finding out how these things worked and what's causing all of these problems. I did notice there's a few other DPF companies in the last 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years. I'm not going to mention any names, but there's a few big companies that specialize in DPFs, and of course they were putting videos up, or short 30-second videos or minute videos saying this car's got a DPF problem, nobody else could fix it, but we used our specialist skills and we've sorted it out for the customer. This is the problem he had, and I found one of the videos because I think, well, that's the problem I've got on this car. But they don't show what they've done. It's very secretive, and I just thought, why are they so secretive? Share the information, don't be greedy, trying to keep all of the work for yourself and get everyone to come to you. I've shared as much information as I can, and I know some people have said to me, why are you doing this? Now everyone is copying your videos and turning into a DPF specialist. They're taking your work, and I know they are. Yeah, I know, because I've had loads of customers call me and say, oh, you know what, whereabouts are you? I said, I'm in this area. Oh no, it's okay, I'll just show your video to my mechanic, he'll sort it out. Of course, that's what my videos are there for. But of course, yeah, I'm losing work from it, but also I've got 6 weeks ahead of me, bookings. I've got 4 DPFs every day to do, 2-hour intervals, so, apart from my lunch break, every day for the next 6 weeks. So at the moment, it's not causing me a problem, and once it does cause me a problem, I think I'll just move on to a different area, and I'll specialise in a different part of cars. I think what most garages get wrong in these areas, me as a business person, what I would suggest in each town, say this town I'm living in here, I'd suggest what most mechanics are trying to do here. Everyone is trying to compete for jobs, as in just general repairs. Everyone's trying to compete. Oh, we'll do DPFs, we'll do MOT repairs, servicing. Everyone's trying to, compete for the same work. Say there's 5 garages here, they're all trying to compete for the same type of jobs. I think what each garage should do is come to a mutual agreement. I think it would be a great idea. So one garage specialises in gearboxes or clutches, one garage would specialise in DPFs, one garage would specialise in general servicing, and the other one is just MOTs and MOT repairs. And I think like that it would work out a lot better. Not only would each mechanic in that garage, in each of those garages, they'd get a lot more experience on that one field that they're working in. The customer would also get a better experience because he's going to a garage that deals with the same problem day in, day out, and they know what they're looking at. A big problem, I think, for most garages is that one garage will try to be a specialist in every single area, and they'll end up being a specialist in none of them because they're trying to do too many different areas of a car. I know guys that have got garages down here, and he says, he's got on his posters outside, DPF specialist, AC specialist, automatic gearbox servicing. There's no way you can be a specialist in all these areas and put enough time and effort into each, knowing the fault with each car. Being a specialist, doing the physical job is nothing, but you'd see a fault on one car and you'd see the same fault on a different car, and the remedy to fix that would be completely different, and the diagnostic process could be completely different. So having experience rather than knowing how to do the job, experience on each particular car is the most important thing, in my opinion, and the only way you're going to get that is if you consistently stick to that area and see the same cars over and over and find and remedy the faults. So that's enough yapping, and I'll see you on the next video.